Well, all right. Welcome back to As You Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As You Should Be studios.
Yes.
And you know, I'm not alone.
No.
I am not alone. I also have Crystal Durant.
I'm here with you.
In the world famous As You Should Be studios.
Yes, hello.
As is Tommy Von Voigt. Hi. But you know what? You're a little muted. You're a little kind of, reserved. You should be bouncing off the walls. It's the fucking 80s, is it not?
Should I have
It's
more
1980,
candy?
in fact.
I'll have more candy.
Oh, candy. That'll help you.
That's more candy.
Great, thanks a lot, Paul.
Yeah.
Time for candy.
Yeah, so we're here to discuss our favorite albums of 1980.
Fantastic.
Maybe
Mike.
Tommy isn't that excited because 1980 is still kind of the 70s.
not
It's still
going
kind of
first, so
1979 in
He's
a way.
gonna have the last word.
Oh, yes, I fucking am.
Whatever
Yeah.
that means.
Oh, super.
All right, so it's me.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
I start,
Yeah, whatever.
right?
That is correct.
Okay. So here are my runners-up for 1980. 1980, when I started high school.
I'll be over here with my drink.
1980, yeah. It's a lot of songs. All right.
I'm going to take a nap.
Wow. Kaleidoscope by Susie and the Banshees, 17 Seconds by The Cure, In the Flat Field, Bauhaus, The Romantics by The Romantics, Departure, Journey, Get Happy by Elvis Costello, Roberta Flack featuring Donny Hathaway, The Coal Miner's Daughter soundtrack, Glass Houses, Billy Joel, Let's Get Serious by Jermaine Jackson, Women and Children First, Van Halen, Duke, Genesis, Light Up the Night, Brothers Johnson, British Steel by Judas Priest, Empty Glass, Pete Townsend, I Just Can't Stop It, the beat or the English beat, depending on where you bought the record, Bad Reputation, Joan Jett, Songs the Lord Taught Us, The Cramps, Uprising, Bob Marley, The Blues Brothers soundtrack, True Colors, Split Ends, Xanadu soundtrack, The Game, Queen, Closer, Joy Division, Back in Black, AC/DC, Zap by Zap, Sinsemelia by Black Uhuru, The Voice of America, Cabaret Voltaire, Give Me the Night, George Benson, SOS by the SOS Band, Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables, The Dead Kennedys, Heart Attack and Vine, Tom Waits, More Specials by the Specials, Clues, Robert Palmer, Triumph, The Jacksons, Too Much Pressure, The Selector, Sugar Hill Gang, The Sugar Hill Gang, Black Market Clash, The Clash, Seconds of Pleasure, Rockpile, Super Trooper, ABBA, The Black Album, The Damned, The Jazz Singer, Neil Diamond, Double Fantasy, Jean and Yoko, Gaucho, Steely Dan, 9 to 5 and Odd Jobs, Dolly Parton, The Birthday Party by The Birthday Party, Sandinista by The Clash, Ark of a Diver, Stevie Winwood, The Decline of Western Civilization soundtrack, The Jim Carroll Band by Catholic Boy. Sorry, reverse that. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, Against the Wind, Curtis Blow, which was the first rap album on a major label. Chaka Khan, Naughty, Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier, The Soft Boys, Underwater Moonlight, Zenyatta Mandata, The Police, Pat Benatar, Crimes of Passion, Van Halen, Women and Children First, and Rush, Permanent Waves. Those are my runners-up. Wake up, Tommy.
Hey!
Wake up, it's Tommy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to As It Should Be.
Back.
Here we have Crystal Durant. We have Paul Bertolino. Did I miss all that already?
We
In the
did
world
that already.
famous As It Shot Be
Just Show Me
studios.
We did
Studios.
it already. Okay, so here's... See, the best part is when this airs and I actually see what they're doing. Because I was ignoring them.
we
as
are.
It's the best part of
We
waking
are.
up.
As I read my list.
Adorable, and she knows that we're just so adorable.
Because that's why I'm here. Because they're so fucking adorable.
So cute.
All right, so
All
we
right,
have a list, right?
Here's my list. Number 10, Peter Gabriel. By Peter Gabriel.
So wait, is this Melt? Is this one?
I think this might be Melt.
It's Melt.
This is Melt, yeah.
I was going to clarify. Not officially, but just say Melt. Coming in at number 9, The Psychedelic Furs, which is their self-titled album called The Psychedelic Furs.
Oh, I've not heard that one.
It, I think, is their best. I think it's their best record. And I will say that that's partially because when I went to college in 1983, my college roommate and my best friend to this day, Diane, brought this record with her. Like, I'd seen it in record stores, but I didn't buy it in 1980 for some reason. But we listened to this record all of the time, like every single day, because we didn't have class until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'd wake up around 9:30 or 10, hungover, and she'd play this record every day. And the We Love You is the last song on the record, and there's this calliope thing at the end of it, and her record skipped on that. So it would literally just play, and we would just let it run for like 20 minutes. It became a ritual. It was this and the Police album, and we would run around singing Murder by Numbers. But yeah, We Love, it's their best record. All right, number 8 is The Age of Plastic by the Buggles.
Ah.
I mean, Trevor Horn ushered in a whole new thing with these people.
Yeah, Trevor Horn, that guy, he did stuff that was so revolutionary, yet he doesn't hold the kind of place in history
No.
that people who do shit that revolutionary generally do.
Right. He's very...
You know what I mean? Like he did shit that's like Van Halen level
Yes.
revolutionary.
Yes.
But he's not that famous or that revered.
And you know why? Because he put the music and the work first. People don't even know what he looks like.
Well,
a lot of people don't know what he looks like.
You know who's hip to him, though? Producers, engineers.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
people in the biz
They're
totally
hip
on
to him.
on him.
Yeah.
But, like, the regular people, it's like, oh, yeah, I remember Video Killed the Radio Star. That's pretty much it. And that was pretty much the first time he was seen, really, in that video. And, for what, like a minute and a half? But he produced he's... Just look him up. Go down the rabbit hole. It's great. Coming in at number 7 is Freedom of Choice, is What You Got by Devo. Another seminal album to me, I think. I think that's my all-time favorite Devo record. And, man, I wore this out. I had to buy another copy. Seriously, I could not stop listening to it. Like, every day after school, I would play it 5 or 10 times. It's so good.
It's a really good fucking record.
So great.
It really is.
That's the album that has Whip It on it,
Yeah.
and which was everywhere. Well, I don't know. It was weird. It was like really huge, and it was kind of
It was
everywhere.
big
but
on MTV.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's one of maybe 2 songs ever in my life that I actually called up a radio station and requested.
Oh.
Which was funny because it's like, why call them up and request? Like, just listen to the radio. It's going to be
Yeah.
on in like 20 minutes,
Yeah. So great. I think they were at their, at the height of their powers with this record. The other ones are great, but this one is the best, I think. Number 6 is Remain in Light by Talking Heads. I love me some Talking Heads. They're great. David Byrne is a dick, but they're great. Number 5 is Los Angeles by X. Oh man, so good. This record is so great. Oh my god.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Well, I mean, although this is a bit of a spoiler, possibly, do you like other X albums after this one?
No.
That's because I was going to say they're one of those bands that really only has one album.
Yeah.
in my opinion, and
No, I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
It's like this was everything came together. The songs, the band was great. I agree with you.
Yeah, because the next one is what, Wild Gift, and it's like
Wild Gift. It's not. Yeah. And Wild Gift to me was they were trying to shoehorn into not pop music, but it was just a different vibe
right.
to me. I think. Do you know that record? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Don't do that.
Oh, sorry. I mean, never mind, Tommy. Never mind. Coming in at number 4 is Boy by U2. Whoa, he's a refugee.
I saw that.
What?
Whoa.
Where?
That's fine. Who? What?
Where?
Don't touch my hair.
Worked really hard on it.
I worked really hard on it. I love U2. I've said this a million times. I said it through the singles of the year. I'm saying it now, and I'll say it again. I love U2.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But what's your actual pick?
Number 3 is Warm Leatherette by Grace Jones.
Grace Jones.
Yes, Grace Jones. Oh my God. Woo. Okay. Grace Jones. For as many people as, what am I trying to say? People know who she is by virtue of her look and maybe some songs. And that terrible James Bond movie, which she was great in with Christopher Walken. Hottest James Bond couple. Hands down, I think. But I don't think that she really gets props by mainstream people. Because I think she's either too weird for them, or they don't like reggae, or stuff like that. But this record is really great, and Sly and Robbie producing. You can't go wrong with them. They're ubiquitous reggae producers and singers and songwriters. And Warm Leatherette is great. I love it.
Yeah. And she's on the cover of a Billy Paul album.
That's correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Scary Monsters and Super Creeps.
Oh.
Which, next to Heathen, like they tie for my top 2 David Bowie records.
I thought you were talking about the band Heathen. I'm like, yeah, what about Heathen?
Oh, that's a band? I didn't even know that was a band.
There's a crappy 80s, metal band, like pop metal band or whatever, called Heathen.
Oh, really?
I don't know if they're pop metal, but they were.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Heathen. Sorry.
But yeah. But this, until Heathen came along, that was my number 1 David Bowie album. It's so fucking great. Production is fantastic. The songs are great. It's so great. It's really great. I can't say enough about it, except that it's great. And my number 1 album of 1980 is... Dirty Mind by Prince.
Oh!
I probably should have seen that coming.
I can you wear your dirty mind. Oh my God. Come on.
This fucking album cover, though.
I love it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
That album cover is something else.
It's so great.
It springs behind him.
Yeah. I mean, and people are like, what is this? And the poster in the shower, like, what is he doing? It's dirty. Dirty Mind.
It's much like Prince's mind.
Much like his mind. And, well, I'll save this picture for another day. But yeah, Dirty Mind, number 1. Great. Love it. It's disco, it's funk. It's 1980. It's 1980.
Well, all right.
All right. Yay me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah. See, we're already forgetting about our newly minted tradition of clapping at the end of each.
We applaud each other.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Problem
Tell you
is,
what.
that's also how you lead us into commercials. So if we all applaud, you don't know which one of those claps is going to be the magic one that cuts to a commercial.
Oh yeah, see, it's the unknown. It's the fear of the unknown.
I mean, it could
and that is
happen
why-
mid-sentence. Any one of us could be talking, and we could just be like, "That's
Clapped out.
as it should be." Keeps you on the edge.
Juicy orange, wild strawberry, and now, brand new banana.
Delicious has the ultimate flavors. The ultimate flavor has the ultimate flavors. Tastes so unreal, they'll blow you away. Delicious.
I told you I don't want you living with roaches. Now I'm going to show you how to kill roaches where you don't want to spray, like around food and dishes. Get yourself Decon roach traps. No poisons and no spraying. Roaches get trapped inside and wham, they're dead. When the trap's filled, throw it out. Power, but no poison. I think they're beautiful, especially since your picture's on the box. Decon roach traps, more power to you.
Okay, we're back.
Hi.
We are back,
We're
and
back.
it's my turn. That's right.
That's right.
I said it. It's my fucking turn.
Do it.
Okay, I'm going to discuss 1980, and I have honorable mentions too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way I play it.
That's cool.
The way I
That's how
play
you roll,
this
huh?
shit.
Yeah.
I will say, because we've hit on the 80s, I do have far fewer honorable mentions than I.
Part 2.
So how could I have so few? Okay. Well, look at it this way, Tommy. Now you don't have to sit through my long ass list.
Ouch.
Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz.
I just got a black eye.
No. All right. Okay, Hall & Oates voices. AC/DC Back in Black. Ramones End of the Century. Tatsuya Yamashita with the classic Ride on Time. Prince, Dirty Mind. Rush, Permanent Waves. Journey, Departure. Scorpions, Animal Magnetism, Billy Joel, Glass Houses, Iron Maiden, way down there where you can't see it, and Kiss Unmasked.
What?
Kiss Unmasked.
Really? You like that record?
I was 10 when that record came out.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting.
That's got Shandy and Tomorrow.
Yeah, that's all I could say.
Yeah, Shandy.
are
Shout out to my friend
amazing
Shandy, who was named
songs.
after that song.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I really, I remember when Kiss obviously I remember when Kiss Unmasked came out. I remember I found out that there was a new Kiss album coming out because I was in the car with my mom, and the radio was on, and the DJ announced it. Oh, there's going to be a new Kiss album coming out, on, whatever, September, whatever, called Kiss Unmasked, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there's going to be a new Kiss album. And that's like how you found out records were coming out back then, or you just went to the store and like, oh shit, there's a new
The
album,
record, yeah.
And I really liked it, but nobody else I knew did. But anyway, all right, so my actual...
No,
proper-
wait. So when he was like, hey, Cats and Kitties, Kiss Unmasked is coming out, but did you even think about the word unmasked?
It did kind of make me go, but I didn't necessarily expect that they were going to be without makeup on that album because of that, but it did kind of tickle my brain a bit. It did kind of have me go,
I wonder what that means.
what does this mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
And then
wondering.
unfortunately it met this really, really god-awful album cover with a bad comic strip on it, but oh god.
I kind of like that. It was
Oh
so
my god,
tacky.
it's terrible. I like it as an idea,
Yeah.
but I think the actual art is terrible.
Oh, the art is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my number 10. Kate Bush. Never Forever.
Oh, yeah.
Never Forever.
Okay.
Possibly my favorite Kate Bush album.
Oh, yeah?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I don't know. And my number 9, Pretenders. Yeah, this is one of those albums, you talked about it in 79.
Yeah.
This album, again, just like the Christopher Cross album, it came out
December 31st.
so fucking late in
Yeah.
1979.
Yeah.
It's practically, it's kind of a 1980 album.
record, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and Brass in Pocket was one of those songs that, like, you couldn't avoid.
No,
It
it
was
was
absolutely everywhere.
All the time.
And that thing got played so much for so long, and I still love it when I hear it. I'm still not sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's,
don't, there's that special magic pixie dust that was sprinkled on this thing, where it doesn't get like, oh fuck that song again. Like, it just doesn't do that.
and it's not, it doesn't sound dated.
doesn't sound dated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. So number 8, an album that probably shouldn't be above the Pretenders album, but it is Joe Jackson with Beat Crazy. Yeah, the third and final Joe Jackson Band album. And it doesn't really have any big hits on it or anything. And Joe's already started to try to change a little bit because he got to that, after he did these first couple albums, he started doing a different thing on every album. So he's already kind of looking to change it up, and so the band wasn't going to suit him anymore because he had to be able to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. But I think it's an underrated album. Number 7. My number 7. Ace of Spades.
Oh.
The Ace of Spades. Yeah, I mean.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. If you wanna gamble,
God, I remember just hearing that song for the first time, being like, "Holy,
what the hell
fucking
is this?
shit!"
And yeah, just the guitars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Everything about it was absolute chaos.
Now.
Yeah,
He sang like a homeless guy,
it was so loud.
but it was. I didn't even know if I liked it or not when I heard it, but I was really intrigued. It was like I kind of liked it, kind of didn't understand it.
It's just so filthy.
Phil.
It's just absolutely
Filthy
just
Phil.
yeah, Filthy Phil.
I think the first time I heard it might have been on the Young Ones.
Oh, God, yeah. That's right.
I think that that's the first time I heard that song, and I was just like, "What is
Holy-
going on over there
Yeah.
in England? What is this?"
Who's this old biker guy?
Guys
with the,
growling in this thing, and these
Growling.
guitars. Oh man! And I ran out the next day and I bought it.
Yeah, it's it took me a long time to actually like go, oh yeah, this is something that I like, because it was just so like, wow, foreign to me. Like, we didn't have Metallica yet. We didn't have this is the first song you heard like this, and it was like, wow, I don't even know what the fuck's going
Happening,
on.
yeah.
But anyway, all right, so number 6. Now, this is a record that I loved and I had when it was new. Boy, did I have this, and boy, could you not avoid it. The Game by Queen. Yeah, oh my God, that was one of my absolute favorite, one of my very, very favorite albums that year at the time. I only have it at number 6 now, but if you would ask me in 1980, probably would have been my number 2.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And I loved all the video, they had video shows on TV, because we didn't have MTV yet, but you had all these little sort of half-hour video shows that came on. And there were a bunch of videos from this album.
Yep.
There was a video for Play the Game. There was one for Another Wants to Dust. There was one for a crazy little thing called Love.
Yep.
And I was
all
so
great.
into this record.
So great.
So great. All right. Number 5. I know I have it down here somewhere. Maybe not.
Scratch that.
Okay. Oh, there it is. It's over there. Cultosaurus erectus by Blue Oyster Cult. Yes, that is my number 5, and this is my very favorite Blue Oyster Cult album. Holy shit, my God. Black Blade, and are you into Blue Oyster Cult?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
Have you dug into those records?
Yeah, and they just didn't hook me at the time. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
it's worth me revisiting them all. It's been years, but I just... Like, I went through, like, this, like, major 70s rock, like, phase, like, I don't know, 15 or so years ago, and I was just digging into everything. I was going out and buying fucking Stars records. I mean, I was going deep, and I just couldn't get into the BOC, man. I don't know why.
You know, I wasn't into it at the time. This is a record that I definitely was not listening to in 1980, although Saul and Caesar... Drink. Saul and Caesar absolutely had this record, and Mirrors and all that stuff, and I would see it in their collection all the time, but it was years later when I got onto it. But number 4, also a record that was found in Saul and Caesar's room, Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. Woo!
See, now that cover
This shit...
makes me not want to. I was like, I don't like this painting.
Oh, but now, Crystal, are you familiar with the actual music
Yeah,
though
yeah,
on it?
yeah.
Okay, so you got past the cover.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
my friend's like, oh my God!
This.
And I was like, all right.
Well, yeah, I
Hey.
mean, this shit right here, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It almost should be number 1, but I have 3 albums on this list that I like better, if you can count. And this record is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, this is not Black Sabbath. This is an entirely different band, but it's a band I really fucking love.
Oh yes.
It's a band I love way the fuck more than late period Ozzy Sabbath.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's almost sad, like how there's just no competition between.
Oh, you can't even
like,
compare.
Yeah, but the last couple Ozzy albums and this, oh come on.
Yeah.
Night and
Come
day.
on. Yeah, and all right. So my number 3. Oops, I did it again. Where am I? What's
The
my
world famous As It Should Be Studios.
What's my name?
Paul Bertolino.
Okay,
Dr.
all right,
Paul
okay, good.
Bertolino.
Just wanted to
I
make
have so many records. I don't know.
Women and Children First by Van Halen. I have it number 3. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And yet another record that was in Saul and Caesar's room. I don't
Drink.
think they had that poster though. You saw earlier. I pulled out the poster.
Yes. I love that poster.
Well, I have. Okay. Unfortunately, this isn't the one, but I actually have another kind of more beat up copy of the album that had a poster in it that I found in the dollar bin at a record store 15 years ago or something, right? And I'm flipping through and I find this copy of Women Shoulder First, and I could feel it's kind of thick. I'm like, oh. So I go in, oh, the poster's in there. I pull it out, and somebody had drawn, some stoner from the time, not only drew a Van Halen logo, but a pot leaf on it. So I bought the record and I have the poster, and it's just like this amazing artifact with an authentic 80s stoner drawing.
That is so of
a
the
pot leaf.
time.
Wait,
Yes.
they did it on the back of the poster?
On the back, 'cause,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I'm
not
wait a
on the front of
minute.
it.
All right, it must have been really high if they did it on the front. Got it.
But Women and Children First. All right, so in my number 2. I don't
Because
have
he rolled his doobies on it.
Oh.
Dude, Dubage.
Dude.
Number 2, British Steel by Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You know what? Thank you. Can you grab that?
I can.
I
Actually,
should have had this.
Be careful, you're gonna cut your fingers.
I should have had this here. That's why I had that there. Was because it was supposed to go like that.
British Steel.
What do you do?
That's a great concept.
Yeah, it is.
Doing that on a two-edged razor blade. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
amazing. Yeah, but I mean that album, everything about that, right? Not only do I love the album, but what an iconic album cover.
Yeah.
I mean, I
brilliant.
love a record like that has such a really strong, striking image, but it's so simple.
It's genius.
Yeah,
It's genius.
yeah. All right, so my number one. Oh my God, people.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Woo!
What's
Oh,
happening?
shit.
What's
My
happening?
number one. This is
Uh-oh.
glasses off. This one.
And stretching.
Uh-oh.
This is an earth shifting. My personal earth shifted with this record.
Oh.
What could it be?
I'm actually not sure.
Me neither.
Oh, I know it is.
It could be...
Yep.
Flush the Fashion by Alice Cooper at number one. No, there was no like, oh, what should I put? Yeah, I did. This was on number one before I even fucking started the list. Number one. This fucking album. Oh my God. I always had known who Alice Cooper was because Alice Cooper, was rather famous. I knew the name, but you know what? I didn't know. I'm 18. I didn't know School's Out. I had never heard those songs. I'd never
Really?
heard them on the radio. I knew who Alice Cooper was. I remember seeing in '79 the "How You Gonna See Me Now" video on TV one day.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of like, okay, it's like I know Alice Cooper and what his image is, but when I thought about his music, that's kind of what I was like, oh, okay.
Did you catch him on The Muppet Show?
I did see him on The Muppet Show, too.
Trying
Well,
to get,
that would have been later because I didn't know the music.
trying to get Kermit to sell his soul to
Soul.
the devil.
Yes, which is great.
So good.
But, so one day, Saul and Caesar, we're in the thick of it. Saul and Caesar are such a huge part of what I'm getting into and what I'm getting exposed to or whatever. Huge part.
Drink.
Explanation for those who don't know: Saul and Caesar are these two brothers who are my neighbors, who are a lot older than I was, and we were really good friends. And they were kind of like older brothers, but also friends. And they were my source, of getting into music at the time. But Saul's like, "Have you heard the new Alice Cooper album?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You need to listen." He sat me down and said, "You need to listen to this record." And man, boom, Alice Cooper fan, right?
From that
Oh,
moment
that's the
on.
one.
Yeah, well, and they had a ton of Alice Cooper albums. Like they had this other friend, Brian Greenwell, was it Brian, this kid down the street who had a bunch. Between them and Brian, they had pretty much every Alice Cooper album up to that point. So I started to get exposed to the other stuff. I remember they had a comp tape that they made of just generally good Alice Cooper songs and stuff like Desperado was coming up and Be My Lover and all these other songs. I'm like, holy fucking shit. So I said to them, can I borrow all your Alice Cooper albums? Because I want to dig through all of them and I want to make my own comp tape. So yeah, here we go. And they piled me up with every Alice Cooper album and I took it home and I went, all right, here we go. And I went through all that shit and here I am today.
Wow.
yeah.
That's so cool, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Saul and Caesar.
Thank you, Saul and Caesar. Yep. All right, so that is my list.
Oh,
Yeah.
And there is much rejoicing.
Yes. I'm clapping for myself.
Huzzah.
we all do.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
Hoorah. And here we go.
Feeling 7-Up, I'm feeling 7-Up. Sharing styles, sharing smiles, feeling 7-Up. It's a crisp, refreshing feeling, crystal clear and light. America's turning 7-Up, and it sure feels right. Feeling lucky 7-7, feeling 7-Up, feeling 7-7, 7-Up. 7-Up, I'm feeling 7-Up, feeling 7-Up, I'm feeling 7-Up.
Luke Skywalker handles his saber well, Ben Kenobi. You should know, Yoda. Yes, I've been the Jedi Master for 800 years.
Yoda and other action figures each sold separately.
Beep, 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 beep. It's okay, R2-D2. I've got my laser pistol. Hold it, Luke. They're afraid of your snake, Yoda. You have nothing to fear. The Force is all around us.
Yoda and other action figures each sold separately. From Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back collection. From Kenner.
But he won you back with Trash, right?
Well, I did actually buy that record. Actually, it's been so long since I bought an Alice Cooper album when they came out that I went, fuck it, I'll buy this and
Give it a
see.
chance. If there's one thing I know about Paul Bertolino is that when Desmond Child is involved, he is there for it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. You know, I didn't really like those
for
last
it.
couple Alice albums, but you throw some Desmond Child in there. You know what? I'm going to give this a chance.
Put on your rouge and listen to it.
I am.
Ooh, I see what you did
Ding,
there.
ding, ding, ding.
Oh, that was very well
Yeah, I
done.
see what you
It
did
was
there.
very well done.
All right.
I'm smart.
But you know what? We're back.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah,
we're
we're
And
back.
it's time for Tommy's list.
Oh no, I'm in the hot seat now.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Oh boy. I wonder if I have honorable mentions.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh no. Super Trooper, ABBA, Back in Black, AC/DC, Messing with the Boys, Shireen Marie Curry, Glass Houses, Billy Joel, Crimes of Passion, Pat Benatar, The Game, Queen, Zenyatta Mandata, The Police, Permanent Waves, Rush, Double Fantasy, John Lennon, Dirty Mind, Prince, Iron Maiden, Scary Monsters, and Super Creeps, David Bowie, Freedom of Choice, Devo, and Blue Angel by Blue Angel, which is Cyndi Lauper's first album.
That is correct.
People.
See, we are still within bounds. Tommy didn't mention a single record there that I don't like. And that's an 80s list. How do you like them apples?
Wow.
We can still be friends. We can still be friends. We can still be friends. We can still be friends.
Especially
but not
if
for
we
much
can keep
longer.
making 70s references.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Well, let's see if I can hold out.
Uh-oh.
My top 10. Let's see if we can maintain this friendship.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I guess I did speak a
all
little
goes
soon, didn't
downhill
I?
from
Yeah.
here.
Have some faith in Tommy.
Have some faith in Tommy.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Well,
Number
I guess it would
10.
be nice if you're I'm sorry.
yeah.
Number 10. Number 10.
My number 10. Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz.
Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I did mention it, yeah.
I didn't.
Yes. And I want to make sure that I give a shout out for that album for Lee Kerslake, Bob Daisley, and Randy Rhoads for having written the album.
Yeah, basically, those, if it weren't for them, there wouldn't be that album.
Album wouldn't exist.
It was actually supposed to be a band called Blizzard of Oz.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was. And then I believe it was Jet Records allegedly was like, no, we just want to push this as a solo artist and just call it Ozzy Osbourne. And of course, this was met with no resistance from Ozzy and you know, Sharon.
Of course.
And then the rest of the band just suddenly found out, I guess now we're Ozzy's backup
Backing
band.
band.
And it just, you know, all the fuckery ensued. And you don't need me to recap all of that. It's just, so I want to make sure Randy and Lee and Bob get their propers because they wrote that record. Number 9, Judas Priest, British Steel.
Oh, yeah.
Steel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Number 8, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. Love that album.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do I love that record. You know, people sometimes like to you say, which Sabbath do you like more, Ozzy Sabbath or Dio Sabbath, like that, as if it's like a trick question, like you're supposed to say Ozzy era Sabbath. Yeah, I prefer Dio Sabbath. I do. I know it's two different bands. They are both called Black Sabbath. Dio Sabbath, far superior for me. Even when you go back to the classic, I'm talking like Master of Reality Volume 4, I think Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules stomp classic era.
Really?
Ozzy Sabbath. Yes,
Zowie.
I do.
They're just too different for me to even be able to do
can't.
that.
That's two
It's like,
apples and
okay, what do you like
oranges for me.
better, Motorhead or you know, Kenny Loggins? It's like, well, I guess I do know. I guess I do.
Kenny Loggins, obviously.
Kenny Loggins, clearly.
You're not wrong here, though, Paul, because
But
it's
you
like,
know what I'm trying to say.
the classic Ozzy era, before they lost their way in the mid-'70s with Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die and all that, prior to that, they were a doom band. They were a doom metal band.
Yeah.
With
Well,
Dio, they became a heavy metal band. And doom and heavy metal, maybe for people who aren't into metal, they might all seem the same, but I assure you,
No, they're
doom
different.
and heavy metal are absolutely different forms of music.
And just making that comparison right there should make it clear for everybody.
Yeah.
Because you listen to Old Sabbath and then listen to Dio, and it's the night and day.
And it should be clear as why I choose Dio, because I prefer heavy metal. I do not like doom.
metal. Yeah.
Anyway, my number 7, REO Speedwagon, High Infidelity.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to mention
Interesting.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Above Heaven and Hell.
I know.
Wow.
I was
Yeah, that
surprised
is
by that too. But I had to look at the album as a whole.
I'm not surprised by this.
You know, I can't just say, okay, obviously Heaven and Hell's got Neon Nights, and Neon Nights is one of the greatest heavy metal songs ever. But like as a whole, I had to look at other albums and say, okay, do I like these albums as a whole more? So that brings me to number 6, Bruce Springsteen with The River. Mm-hmm. Look at the look on his face. What is going? What? Okay. I don't know if we should pause here for commentary, or if I should just move right along.
What that means.
Okay, wow, shit just got really
He's
weird.
short-circuiting.
I think I broke the Bertolino. It remains to be seen if that doesn't get edited out or not, because that was just weird. Shit gets weird sometimes here, as it should be. And that brings me to number 5. Actually, it doesn't bring me to number 5 at all, but number 5 is next. We have Van Halen, Women and Children First.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Record, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
My number 4, Def Leppard, On Through the Night. Yep.
I'm not very familiar with that record.
A lot of people weren't when people got into Def Leppard later
Any hits?
in the 80s. Well, I mean, it's got Hello America and it's got Rock Brigade, Wasted.
Oh,
Those
Rock
are all really
Brigade,
big
okay.
songs
Rock
off of there. But,
All right.
you know, the whole record is very much like, it's like, oh, they were clearly a part of the new wave of British heavy metal movement. And, yeah. But if you were into, like, Pyromania, especially if you were into Hysteria, you weren't likely going to get into On Through the Night.
Got it.
Well, that record probably sounds to people who like the really, really, really popular big giant Def Leppard albums. That record is going to sound to them the way 70s Priest sounded to people who were into Screaming for Vengeance and Defenders
Oh
of the Faith.
God, yeah. Or if you're into like Turbo,
Yeah.
you know, and you're not going to get like Sad Wings of Destiny and,
That's for sure.
and groove to it.
Yeah.
So, but my number 3, an album that was re-released in 1981, in January of 1981, with a different title, was originally called Joan Jett. Joan Jett. And was re-released the next year as Bad Reputation. Holy shit, this album. Oh my God. Now, for every album she put out subsequently for the rest of the 80s, every one of them had moments of absolute brilliance and a whole shitload of filler. Unfortunately. It's the reality.
Well, see, it's the Suzi Quatro influence. I love Suzi Quatro, but her albums were like that.
Oh,
and Suzi
know.
Quatro always had these really kind of bad, sort of nobody asked for this 50s covers.
Oh, yeah.
And Joan Jett, like that's Suzi Quatro is part of her DNA.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she's doing that shit too.
She's doing that. She's
Yeah.
doing that. Or like, it'll be originals that like just sound like, barroom fucking boogie rock and shit like that. And just like by the numbers.
Yeah.
It's just, but there would be moments of absolute brilliance. But on this first one, her debut, woo, did she get this one right? Holy shit. I mean,
Yeah.
almost every fucking song on this, is incredible.
Well, this is when she was like hanging out with the Sex Pistols and the Ramones and stuff, and
Yeah. But it's also like the whole thing also has like a bit of like a girl group influence too.
Yeah.
It's just a great album. If you're not familiar with the first Joan Jett solo album, as Crystal would say, get on it.
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it. Number 2, Olivia Newton-John and Electric Light Orchestra bring you the Xanadu soundtrack.
Yes, hell yes.
Woo!
You have to believe it's magic.
Oh.
Suddenly, you need to start listening to this
Oh.
record. Oh my God. All over the world, people are jamming to this album.
Now it is here.
I fucking love this album.
Oh my God.
So much. This movie, however, on paper, I should love this movie.
Yeah, you should.
And I don't.
You don't?
I really don't.
Because it's awful.
Because it's a terrible movie. However, I'm able to watch it and enjoy it because the music is so awesome in this
carries
movie.
you through.
It really does. But
And
you can
Gene
also,
Kelly. Come on,
Well,
Gene
yeah.
Kelly.
But
Guys
you can also
Halfway
just
Dead.
skip all that and just listen to the soundtrack and you get all the good stuff.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
So bad. Although it does have that one that thing in the end where all of a sudden Olivia Newton-John's wearing like the tiger jumpsuit or something like that. I don't know. It's very brief, but it's important. Anyway.
It's brief but important.
Yes. My number
It gets Tommy out of his briefs.
Yeah, really. Puberty talking.
Does it ever stop talking?
No.
My number one. Okay, so this album. There have been previous episodes when Paul drops like an album and like he starts getting like all emotional because of how much that album means to him. I am in danger of that happening to me when I think of this record.
Do you need to hold my hand?
I need to hold your hand.
Oh, you can hold my hand. Sorry.
No, I mean, I'll keep my shit together. It's just that for whatever reason, I got into this next record when I was, it was early in high school, and I was spending just all of my time, because I didn't have really basically any friends. I was bullied constantly. I spent all my time alone, pretty much. I would just disappear on my BMX bike and just ride around just aimlessly forever. And
finding dead bodies and crossing
finding
legs.
dead bodies and exploring haunted caves. But I had a Discman. And you know, the Discman at the time, they had the feature that is the anti-skip feature, which means basically you hit play and then it like buffered for like 10 seconds and then started playing, so that it could like try to like resolve any skips if you hit like a bump or something like that. So I would be able to ride around, and I was really good on my bike, so I'd ride around with no hands all the time, negotiating turns with no hands. So I'd hold my Discman and just be like boop 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 with headphones on, and 9 times out of 10 I was listening to this next album, and I just knew it by heart, and it was like putting on the headphones and hitting play on this album was like just slipping into a nice warm bath, you know what I mean? Or like that pair of pants that just fits so perfectly because you've had them for years, and it was just like it was giving me a hug. It was just like it was there for me emotionally. And that album is Ramones, End of the Century.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's hard for me to explain it any better than I just attempted to. You know, you don't need me to recap the stories behind the creation of the album. It's a hell of a roller coaster story, a roller coaster ride. But for whatever reason, this album just connected with me so deeply. Songs on here that most Ramones fans don't give a fuck about, like the Return of Jackie and Judy. I hear Return of Jackie and Judy, and I'm just like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Like, you know,
well, it's a time, it was a place, it was a feeling.
Something it just connected with me at the right point in my life, and I was already a Ramones fan, and then I got into this record.
How old were you?
When I got into this record, I was like, I want to say 14 or so. Yeah.
14. Okay. Yeah, you definitely weren't hearing it in 1980.
Oh, Chris, no. This was much later. No, I got into the Ramones because, you know what? I heard somebody playing I Want to Be Sedated. That was it. And I got all the stuff in More Volumes 1 and 2, and I was like, this is amazing. And as all the stuff in More Volumes 1 and 2 are the first 4 albums across 2 CDs. And then at some point, I was in The Wiz, and, you know, nobody beats The Wiz. Go to The Wiz and select it. Take it off the rack. If it's whack, put it back. And I picked up End of the Century, and it was not whack, and I did not put it back.
Yeah. Excellent.
All right.
Yeah. Great.
Well. And with that, I believe we have some messages. We'll be right back.
When I serve chicken, I serve minute rice. It's a fast and simple way to fancy up an everyday meal. With coated chicken, I serve orange rice. Minute rice cooked in orange juice instead of water. With roast chicken, I serve minute rice plain, delicious with gravy. And fried chicken, I fancy it up by adding peas and carrots to minute rice. Minute rice is one of my favorite ways to make supper simpler. It's long grain rice that's ready in 5 minutes.
Whoever you are, be a star in celebrity dream. Teddy G. When it's time to relax, just lay back in celebrity dream.
Be alive. Be free. Be someone special in Teddy Pendergrass Celebrity Body Jeans.
Okay, all right. Well, we're back now, and it is Crystal's turn.
I'm going to tell you about things I hate, about records I hate, about people I hate in 1980.
Okay.
It's 1980, right? Yes, 1980. Okay.
We're off to a great start, aren't we?
Yeah. Shall we come back again?
No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Good. We're just rolling with it.
I'm ready.
We're just going to be stupid for all the world to see. And we're going to
Get
be
to see the realness of As It Should Be.
It's not like we haven't done that before.
Yeah, what haven't we shown? I mean, come on. So I got two things. And they almost tie. But the more I think about it, wow, I really hate them both so much.
I just realized we had no ties. None of us had ties.
We totally did.
Oh.
It's a tie.
But yeah, I have we had any episodes up to this point where there's not one tie between us on our top 10?
Not a single one for this year, no.
It's a whole new. We're blazing new trails here.
New world.
But anyway,
All right,
we
digress.
We're cutting into your action here.
Easy action. So here are the two things that I hate, and they're neck and neck. They're both really bad. All right. Anything by Ted Nugent.
Ooh.
I don't care what it is. I'm sorry.
Oh, Ted.
Even before I found out what a horrible person he is and has been from the jump, I just can't. It's just all nothing. It's just. Yeah.
Even before we found out what a piece of shit he was, he still only had 3 fucking songs.
Yeah.
That many? Can you name the other two?
Yes, he had.
Cat Scratch Fever.
Actually, 4 songs. 4 songs.
Oh, wait. Let me try.
You go ahead, try.
Cat Scratch Fever.
Nope.
Are you talking about popular songs?
I'm talking about good songs.
Oh, good. I was going to say popular songs. I
You
can
want to know what the good songs are?
Never mind.
The
I
good
don't.
songs are Journey
Word.
to the Center of Your Mind, Great White Buffalo, Free for All, Stranglehold. Done.
Well, see, I was going to say Stranglehold and Free for All.
Well, everyone's going to say Stranglehold and Free for All. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So that's the one.
Yeah.
And then the one that I probably hate more, because it's just so egregious, is Chipmunk Punk.
I forgot to put that one on here.
Chipmunk Punk. Wow, it was 1980. Nobody gave a fuck about those fucking squirrels or chipmunks.
Well,
whatever.
I don't know about that. That was kind of a hit album.
Was it?
No, it was a huge hit record. But what I'm saying is like
that shit.
After decades of not hearing anything about the Chipmunks or from the Chipmunks because they were a relic from the 50s, really. You know, Santa, don't be late. I mean, that's really what we remembered of the Chipmunks. I was, like I said, this was my first year of high school in 1980. So I remember hearing those songs on the radio when I was a kid. You always heard Chipmunk Christmas. That was ubiquitous.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it was. And then, you know, punk rock became a thing, and people tried it and failed miserably, and a lot of people looked at it as a stupid fad that's never going to last, much like hip-hop that just turned 50 this year. So
just last week?
Just last week.
Just
yeah.
like rock and roll itself, which turned like 100 this year.
Yeah. So it was like everybody, it wasn't quite disco ducky, like everything was disco, but it was really a slap in the face to punk rock fans and artists everywhere, and it was a huge success. Like,
well, and also
sold millions.
None of the songs on it were actually punk songs.
Oh, they're covering like "Call Me" by Blondie.
Yeah,
and it's
it
ridiculous.
was new wave Chipmunks,
Yeah,
is what it should have been.
Yeah.
But Chipmunk Punk, but they call it punk because it was a popular thing, and they had them in leather jackets with safety pins and
He's like
scowling.
spraying graffiti. And,
yeah,
Oh, so
you know, with a
stupid.
dress on. Yeah, so
stupid.
those are the two things I hate the most music-wise about 1980.
Well, let's see what I have here.
Chipmunk Punk.
Well, first off, I actually have Chipmunk Punk. I do have it. Boy, do I remember when that came out. I remember
Ooh, boy.
The thing about, like you were saying, they had been persona non grata for
decades.
years at that point.
Yeah.
Well, from what I read, was Dave Seville, whoever who was
Dave
doing
Seville.
it,
Yeah.
his son kind of like kind of picked it up and went, okay, we need to revive this and bring it back into the now, and that's when this shit came out, and they started doing like Urban Chipmunk,
Country Chipmunk, Urban Chipmunk, It was,
I mean,
it eventually worked though, because in the mid '80s they had the cartoon, and that was my introduction.
They revived it.
They
brought it back, but they had new episodes.
Yeah. They changed
Did
it
they
for
not?
80s audience. They did. It wasn't It wasn't the old Chipmunks.
Yeah, the ones that came out in the 80s, they did them in the style of the old ones, but those are new.
Whoa, hold on a second. Wait, there was a previous Chipmunks show?
Yeah.
What? Oh, well, maybe not.
The cartoon?
I thought the cartoon was
you might be
only
onto
from
something.
the 80s.
I always assumed that they had an old one because I knew that those cartoons were new.
No, we actually don't know. We're probably going to have to check.
We're not exactly...
Yeah, my understanding was that there was the novelty records, and then they tried reviving the novelty records with punk and all that bullshit. And then in the mid-'80s or so, they put out the cartoon, the Saturday morning cartoon, and that was kind of my big introduction to them. And I had assumed because of that and the holiday song, the Chipmunk song, I figured that there had always been Chipmunks every year forever.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, I still have the freaking theme song for the cartoon buried in my brain. I don't know if there was originally an earlier
No, you're probably
cartoon.
right. I think I just always assumed, but when I think about it, it's not like I've ever actually seen vintage Chipmunk cartoon episodes. I've never seen
Well, maybe
them.
it's because I'm old and I thought that they were older ones. I don't know.
We're going to have to check. We actually don't know for sure.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a Chipmunks deep dive episode soon, and we'll tell you all about them.
We got you.
We'll rate all their records.
But all right, so I have two more. I have I have one more.
Rate all their records.
One more runner-up, and then my worst of. My next runner-up, Boxcar Willie.
Oh,
you fucking remember Boxcar Willie?
I remember fucking Boxcar
Willie.
I don't know this.
Jesus.
Boxcar Willie was like this sort of bad country artist who sold albums on TV. He was one of those TV albums guys.
Like Slim Whitman.
And he dressed like a hobo.
Yeah.
Boxcar Willie.
Boxcar Willie.
You know, like the guy sleeping, who's stowing away on the train with a guitar.
Stick with a polka dotted handkerchief on.
The whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And every day you saw these commercials. Boxcar Willie, blah, 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 blah. Audiences everywhere are going crazy for Boxcar Willie. All that shit.
I mean, that's one step above
we
Esteban, for Christ's sake.
And we were at school laughing at this, like, oh my god, Boxcar Willie.
So bad.
Yeah, Boxcar Willie.
Willie. Yeah, I think that he tried to get on
it's a
Hee-Haw.
place and a time. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Which brings us to my worst of the year, which just rolls out the red carpet and just takes us right up to my number one of the year.
Oh no.
Slim Whitman with All My Best.
All My Best.
We've talked about Slim Whitman before. This is where he fucking comes. This is where I become aware of him. This is where this whole Slim Whitman as TV record phenomenon happens.
Yeah.
Slim Whitman, All My Best.
Okay.
And what's there to say about Slim Whitman? Just like this weird, like pencil mustachioed, like
slick
relic
back
from,
hair.
Yeah, kind of like a relic from the 50s. Like he didn't change his look.
Like he really wanted to get in the Grand Ole Opry but couldn't.
Yeah,
Like
he had like
one
this
of those,
weird
like a pseudo nudie suit.
pseudo nudie suit and a really bad kind of weird falsetto.
Yeah, like yodeling.
Kind of yodeling. And didn't he do like some sort of weird Mrs. Miller like vibrato whistling too?
Yes, that was his claim to
Whitman.
fame. And you may remember hearing his most popular song on that movie about the Martians.
Wait, Mars Attacks?
Yes, Mars Attacks.
Wait,
his was the song that caused their heads to explode.
Puberty Love song?
Yeah.
That was Slim Whitman?
That was Slim Whitman. Yes.
Oh.
That was Slim Whitman.
Get the fuck out of here. Was it
I don't know
really?
this one. I don't know this.
Yeah.
Puberty Love, yeah.
I don't know this
They
song.
play Puberty Love, and it's like, puberty, and then the Martian, it's like, yeah, it's like the equivalent of fucking, the Martians getting infected by like an Earth virus or something.
Yeah, and killing
See, I've never seen this film, so I've never heard the song.
Oh, yeah.
Ack.
No, I really don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
you should check out Mars Attacks.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's a thing that will happen to you.
What's his face? Tim Burton directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
crazy.
Okay, so
it's a spoof of the 50s.
I was going to say, okay, obviously then that this is a reference bringing, on their part, it was like a kind of a wink and a nod reference bringing in Slim Whitman to do a song.
It was. It was totally a
You
joke.
should check it out. Let's not tell them any more about it. I don't want to spoil it.
And you kids out there in YouTube land, watch it too if you haven't seen it.
And even the ones in U2 land, you can have it too. All right.
Ow!
All right.
I got another black eye.
Yeah. So, Tommy.
Oh, me?
Oh yeah. What do you hate? Whoa, whoa.
I'm Tommy. I'm a Virgo, and I'm going to tell you about the album I hate from 1980.
What is it?
All right, so I actually don't have any dishonorable mentions this year.
Oh.
You just have a worst of
I
the year.
just have a
Straight to
worst
it.
of the year. I just have a worst of the year. So this band gets a lot of hate by somebody on this show and from other people in general, and I guess it's warranted. It's warranted. If you are a defender of this band, if you have liked any of their prior albums, no, it's not.
Oh.
This is the hater.
I'm the king of hate.
This is yeah, King Hatred here.
But don't.
He's
But
the king of hate. Yeah. But if
Tommy's about to hate too. So
if you're into prior releases by this band, you have a lot of explaining to do when it comes to this album.
Lucy.
And that album would be Sandinista by The Clash. Ooh boy. I got a buddy down in Florida, Matt Baker. He has this thing that he does. I haven't talked to him about this in years, but he used to be like, think of a band that when a certain album came out, you realized the whole time they were just shit merchants. I was like, oh. It's like, yeah, like the mask got removed and you realized what they really were the whole time. It's a pretty funny
and I would have gotten away with it too
if it wasn't for you people paying
Meddling
attention.
kids.
Yeah.
And Sandinista is the kind of album that makes you say, well, God, did everything else that came before it that I kind of liked, did all that suck too? Like, I'm
You have to
questioning
kind of rethink everything.
I have to rethink everything. Sandinista by The Clash is shriekingly bad. It is just astonishingly bad. It is a triple album, first of all.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, like, I'm a Clash fan.
Yeah.
And I do not like this because it was so bloated and so ridiculous. It could have been whittled down to an EP.
Which would have still sucked.
So it sounds to me like they should have called the album Tusk.
So first of yes. Well, the only thing they didn't really do is bring in a marching band. First of all, now this next thing I'm going to say is admittedly subjective, but in my opinion, there is not a single good song on this entire triple album. And I'm not talking about, there's maybe there's a song or two that's decent, but the production wasn't. I'm talking, there isn't anything on this album that was even a fucking good idea that in better hands could have been turned into a song I would ever want to listen to.
I agree.
So that's for starters. Then it's 3 albums long. And then every song is like this fucking endless dub kind of bullshit jerk off. It's like,
see, that's what I was going to say.
the whole thing has no focus, no direction. Yeah. It is the most self-indulgent pile of shit I've ever sat through in my fucking life.
Yeah, it is a total mess.
I cannot believe they put this album out.
Yeah, I was going to say the dub. I'm a reggae fan. I'm not a big dub fan. I can tolerate some of it, definitely not all of it. But this thing was just like, what the fuck is this?
God.
Why would you do 3 records of this, front and back? Like, what? Yeah, it's not good.
They do bullshit. Like, there's such ridiculous, baffling bullshit on here.
From London Calling to this, you're just like, what the fuck happened to these guys?
In the space of a year, when London Calling to this.
Wow.
Right?
Because they thought that... Yeah.
There's a song on here
that thought they were good.
Yeah.
No, I would say that, ego got in the way for sure, more with Joe than the other dudes, because Topper just didn't say anything. But and they sold a lot of records. London Calling was huge.
Yes, it was.
They made a lot of money on that tour. It was big.
There's some really good shit on London Calling.
It's great. And then I think that were they on IRS? I forget where they were. But they were like, oh yeah, just do whatever you want. Here's some money. Just take it. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, great. So we can sit in the studio all day and get high with our reggae Jamaican friends and blah, 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 and come up with this bullshit. And I feel like that's what happened.
That's what it sounds like.
It's just so not good.
Paul, let me explain this to you. Imagine you sit through 24 songs of meandering dub bullshit that goes nowhere, and then you get to a song that is a cover of an earlier Clash song, and they have children singing it instead. Yeah. This is the kind of album I'm talking about. That's what Sandinista is. It is that bad. Like, it is, as much as you hate The Clash, I don't think you even realized they could suck this bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is fucking profoundly bad. This is infinitely worse than Cut the Crap that they put out in like 85.
Wow, do you think so? Because yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This is foul.
Yeah, London
this is
Calling,
offensive.
That was their big moment, and everything fell by the wayside after that.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
So, end scene.
There have only been that mattered for 2 records.
To themselves. But anyway, all right, so...
I told you last week we were going to be circling back around to the Clash.
Yeah,
when I mentioned them.
You did.
I did not disappoint.
No.
Well, we'll be hearing more about them a little later, too, I think. Later episode. But, anyway,
1982.
I think now we need to hear from some sponsors. What we need to do, yeah.
Una paloma blanca.
This international recording star had the #1 record in England for more weeks than any singer in history, even Elvis and the Beatles. And now, for the first time on American TV, we proudly offer the fabulous hits of Slim Whitman, the man voted #1 international male artist in England 4 years in a row. Here is all the magic of Slim Whitman, the international star who has sold 31 million records.
Vaya con Dios, my darling. All the songs that touch people's hearts the most are in this album, and I hope you'll let them touch your heart too. Have I told you lately that I love you? Blue eyes crying in the rain. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu.
Slim Whitman, All My Best. This giant record treasury is only $7.98. Complete tape collection is only $9.98. Not sold in any store. Order yours now.
To order your collection of Slim Whitman's hits, call toll-free 1-800-257-1234. In New Jersey, call 800-232-6966. To avoid COD charges, send a check or money order, $7.98 for records or $9.98 for tape, to Slim Whitman, P.O. Box 7500, Atlanta, Georgia 30357.
Well, all right.
Oh, yeah, we're all right.
All right, yeah, so that is that for 1980.
Ooh, what a year.
You know, if you want to see more about the 80s from us,
Well, keep tuning in, first of all.
that would be it. Yeah, keep tuning in. But probably the thing that will help you to keep track is if maybe you subscribed.
Ooh.
But don't just subscribe.
Like and subscribe?
You got to ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Because then, YouTube starts bothering you and saying, hey, look, As It Should Be has a new video out. But, otherwise you might not know.
Yeah.
And I also want to suggest that you, as a companion piece, go back to the singles of the year and do a compare and contrast. Because while I was making these lists, I often thought, like if I was putting it, everybody has their own methodology. So I do my runners-up list first, unless it's songs that I absolutely know are going to be in the top 10, right? And then I look through it and I think, is this here because of this one hit single that I really enjoyed? What did I think about and then I got to sit and listen to the rest of the thing if I haven't listened to it in a long time, and then I'll eliminate it because it was just because of that 1 or 2 or 3 songs.
Right.
So I think it's going to be interesting, because I actually did this, to look at the singles of the year and then the albums of the year and see where our heads were at and why we're even doing this, because like he said, there's a big difference between singles and the whole album.
That's when I suggested doing, after the singles of the year series was over, I suggested doing albums because I knew that
different.
Artists were going to be represented in the singles that weren't going to be represented in the albums, and vice versa.
Yeah.
There are going to be certain things where you like this single by this band, but their album's not going to be on your list.
Yeah,
There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And
so, when you get the time, do that.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be very helpful for you, in particular, when we get into the 90s.
Yes.
Oh, the 90s.
90s is going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The 90s.
Yeah. It will actually be very, very beneficial for me because there's a lot of stuff that I did actually enjoy that had no singles.
It just wasn't in the singles is all.
Yeah.
But something one of the things I want to bring up before we get out of here is, actually there are 2 things. And which one should I bring up first? I know what.
What?
Vintage photo time! Yeah! No, this is not Crystal's mom. It's It's actually Crystal herself in 1980. This is when she had to prove to her mom that she could, quote, dress like a lady and not a punk rocker. And, well, Crystal's mom dared her, and this is what Crystal came up with. And she won $20. And this is me in the 5th grade. Yeah, this is my 5th grade school photo, taken, in 1980, probably late in the year, probably early in the school year when we did our school photos. All I know for sure is that's some full-on Chachi Scott Baio hair I have going on there. And here we have Tommy on Christmas of 1980, just casually hanging out in a onesie with his Kermit and his Matchbox fire truck, giddily anticipating the decade ahead of him. All right, so there you go. That is Crystal and me and Tommy in 1980. All right, so there you go. There's our vintage photos from 1980. Tommy, oh, wow,
What?
okay. Coming to life right from the photo.
How did that happen?
It's the magic of as it should be. It's
Yes, and that is actually your Kermit
and my
from that
fire
photo,
truck.
isn't it?
Yeah. So this fire truck I did replace. I went through a bunch of vintage photos. I was like, what Matchbox and Hot Wheels cars did I have? And I was able to identify them and track them down. This is the Kermit from the photo. I still have all of my stuffed animals from when I was a baby, and because of course I do. And this is my Kermit. This is the one
As
I'm
you should.
holding. Yes.
As you should.
Make him nod. Make him nod.
Oh yes, we need a Muppet nod. Like that's his job.
Muppet nod.
Muppet nods.
Yes.
Kermit the Frog here.
But
Frog.
the other thing that I wanted to bring up, and something that I really should be bringing up at the end of every episode, it's taking me till now to do this. Always look down in the description on these videos because I have links down there. I have a link to Crystal's podcast. I have a link to Tommy's has a channel of his own that you may not know about. I always have links down for that.
Thank you.
And my old As It Should Be audio podcast, which is what begat this, video empire that we have now. And so and I think I already told you to subscribe, and we already rang the bell, right? Okay, yeah. So let's get the hell out of here.
Oh yeah, because my ride is here.
Oh, okay. See you next week.
Bye.
1981. Bye.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh.
Excuse me.
Like, oh my god, that is so gross.
This grody
Oh
to
my
the
god, that
max.
is grody to the max.
Cack me with a spoon.
Like totally.
Oh
my
god.
Oh my god.
Shall we?
Yeah, just making sure that I look
Like, shall I?
Like
fabulous.
totally. Like okay.
I look fantastic. Yes, I do.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, you do.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, you know what? Wait. One
waiting.
second. We're gonna improve things here.
I'm waiting.
We're gonna have the new and improved.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
You almost took out this,
Uh-oh.
Well, it wouldn't be an As It Should Be session if there wasn't some chaos.
Production assistants didn't show up today.
Yeah.
Failures.
All right. 3, 2.
Well, all right!